Michael was a different level, man. He's a different level of competitiveness, just sheer will to win. He changed the game. He changed the game. I mean, not just in one aspect, in many aspects, in every aspect of the game, he changed it. I played against some of the greatest players in the history of this game. Michael Jordan was one of those guys that lifted my ability to the next level. We enjoyed the competition with one another. We played very hard and fiercely against one another, but it was like you had two gentlemen going head to head. Michael Jordan and I wasn't just coming down the court getting dunks after dunks. We found creative ways to score. I can't tell you the fun and the pleasure I had to play against him. You know, and Michael and I, we never really talked about those games. It was kind of an unspoken thing between us. You know, the respect level that we had was at a different level. I think I had a great game in Atlanta, and I remember going to Chicago. Michael walks into our locker room, and we're still in suit and tie. We haven't gotten dressed yet, and he walks in our locker room, suit and tie, and I was like, what are you doing coming in our locker room? And I ain't gonna say exactly what I said. And so he walked by me, he walked by Kevin Willis, and he got to Randy Whitman, he tapped him on his butt, and he said, lace him up, it's gonna be a long night. He got 60 that night. He got 60. And it was a very close game. I think it went down to the last shot in that game, but I think he proved his point.
And a beautiful view of the famous Chicago skyline. An appropriate dramatic setting for our game today at Chicago Stadium. Welcome everyone to Chicago. This is Kevin Harlan along with me, Clark Kellogg. We've got David Aldridge joining us from the sidelines as we get set to watch the Atlanta Hawks go up against the Chicago Bulls. Clark, this should be a beauty.
You know, each of these teams, Kevin, has a guy who is in the running for the league lead in scoring. I'm, of course, talking about two guys that don't need introduction, Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins. Going to be a lot of fun watching these guys try to one-up each other offensively.
And Clark, beyond just Jordan and Wilkins, plenty of other talented scorers on each of these teams as well.
Kevin, you make a very good point. I mean, these are two impressive high-octane lineups, which I think could result in this score really getting run up in a hurry.
This should be one to remember. And out there for Atlanta, Spud Webb at the point with Doc Rivers at the 2. At the forward positions, Dominique Wilkins and Moses Malone. John Koncak will be at center. And starting things off for the Bulls, it's John Paxson at point guard with Michael Jordan also at the guard. Then Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant at the 3 and 4. The veteran Bill Cartwright in the middle.
Expectations are high for Jordan and Wilkins in this one. They're both exceptional scoring threats, and I know their teams are expecting each of them to be the difference makers out there as they try to get the W.
Now, here is Webb. 5 to shoot. Here's Wilkins. Basket is good. The assist from Webb.
An outstanding finisher. Wilkins is at his best when he's attacking aggressively.
You know, often, Clark, it's the team's respective leader who sets the tone for their whole squad.
You are correct, partner. So if Jordan or Wilkins can manage to get off to a hot start, that could spread to the other guys and get their whole team rolling early.
That's a good point. The two scoring leaders facing off. But to dig deeper, let's go to a guy who can dig as deep as any, David Aldridge. D.A.
Thanks, guys. We know that Dominique and Jordan's scoring will probably be the big story of the night, but there's a lot more to these guys' games that could affect the outcome. With Wilkins, we've seen a new focus from him on improving his rebounding, and as always, Jordan's defense can be just as impactful as his offense. Guys, back to you.
You know, David, that's an interesting point, and I think you're right. It's not just Clark about scoring tonight. It's got to be a multifaceted game. Wouldn't you agree?
I certainly would, Kevin. Limiting your opponent's touches and disrupting their shot attempts and their offensive flow, I think could be the real name of the game in this one. You just can't get it done with offense alone.
I know Jordan takes pride in his defense. We'll see if that's true tonight.
Yep, we'll keep an eye on that.
The #1 objective, Clark, of this Bulls defense has to be limiting Dominique Wilkins' looks. They've got to contain that incredible scoring of his.
Kevin, you're all over it. Right on point. I mean, if Chicago can't disrupt his usual scoring, then they're in for a long night. In some real trouble.
Yep. Clark, in some ways, this game could come down to either Jordan's or Wilkins. And who scores the most? Outperforming the other could seal the game for their team.
And, Kevin, that's exactly what we'll be keeping a close eye on. Which one is leading in the point column? Because I agree the winner of that duel very well could decide this thing.
Oh, what a duel it's going to be. All right, Clark, Wilkins and Jordan. A couple of talented one-on-one players who are both going to be seeking mismatches in this one.
And, you know, Kevin, if you're on either of these teams, you've got to be ready to come at Jordan and Wilkins defensively. Don't let them dictate things. Low-effort defense, not going to get it done because they'll take advantage of that fully.
Oof. And here is Wilkins following the three-pointer by Michael Jordan. One-on-one fast break from the arc. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
Really smooth shot that time from MJ beyond the arc. Hawks can't afford to let him get it going from the three-point line.
Now, here is Webb. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. The 15-footer, and Malone gets it to go on the assist by Rivers. Obviously, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, Clark, both apply great defensive pressure. You know, but the Hawks have some fast hands and some nice defensive skills of their own.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. I mean, you think about Doc Rivers. If the Bulls aren't careful around Rivers, he could create a lot of havoc and force a bunch of turnovers. And in a contest between two very high-scoring teams, we know every possession counts.
Yeah, Rivers is like a coach on the floor.
He really is. Well, you know, this is what happens. You can't afford to lose concentration, even for a nanosecond.
Michael Jordan's presence felt by every fan in attendance.
Jordan always eager to entertain the home crowd, putting on a show for these fans here.
Malone outside. Back to Wilkins. It's Rivers on the wing. No good with the triple. Jordan against Rivers. And again, it's Jordan with a three. Jordan's got 23.
Striking it from distance. No hesitation at all.
And so it's Chicago. Up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. They've been playing some for 23. Welcome back, everyone, to Chicago. As the second quarter gets underway, it's been an exciting game so far between the hometown Chicago Bulls and the visiting Atlanta Hawks. This is how the floor looks for the Hawks starting the second quarter. We've got Dominique Wilkins. Rivers out there with Smith. Then there's Moses Malone. And it's Carr in at the 4.
For the Bulls, they've got a new coach at the helm this season. With Phil Jackson, this is his first stint as a head coach here in the NBA. Boy, at the offensive end, his game is so impressive. I mean, he's a threat every time up the floor.
Jordan way outside. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
And when Jordan is in rhythm now, his pull-up game, deadly. Shoots it with such confidence.
Jackson, of course, a former player, a former assistant under Doug Collins in Chicago. And Clark, I hear he's got some interesting ideas when it comes to on-court strategy.
Well, Kevin, you know, he's certainly got some good pieces to test those ideas out with. There's no denying that. But what I think matters most is that the guys seem to relate to him and like him. Chemistry between players and head coaches is critical.
Well, you know, you played a long time, and you know how important that connection can be.
That's a very key deal.
Now, looking back at the opening quarter, Clark, Jordan managed to stay ahead of Wilkinson points scored.
Yeah, really good start for him, Kevin, in that regard, but can he keep doing that the entire game?
Right. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. Out to Smith. 6 to shoot. Carr with a screen on Paxson. Here's Smith. No good there off the double clutch.
Well, you know he wants that one back. I mean, more often than not, he'll sink that mid-range jumper.
The shot's good from Jordan.
The Hawks and the Bulls, when you look at the measurables of teams and players, pretty standard for the league, with explosively athletic backcourts and then quite a bit of size down low, too.
Pass to Smith. Back to Rivers. They need this. We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. And another shot. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Clark, we were talking about size. Both of these teams start a 7-footer at center.
Yeah, you know, Concac and Cartwright are very imposing at that position, Kevin. And then you get Grant and Malone are paired evenly at 6'10". So, hey, there's no way this game is not going to be physical in the paint.
It'll be a battle for sure. And there's the pass to Malone. And here's Smith. Inside. And Grant sends it back.
One of the better defenders in this game, Grant teeing off on that one. Well, you got to appreciate how consistent these Atlanta Hawks have been. I mean, season to season, even while going through some roster shakeups, they've been steady.
Let's go to David Aldridge, who has some inside info on the Chicago Bulls.
Hey, Kevin, when you talk to the coaching staff and you say, what's the key to success against the Hawks, they have a one-word answer. Michael. They expect big numbers from Jordan, probably exceeding his average of 35 points from last season. Back to you, Kevin.
Well, that's good stuff there, David. Sometimes, Clark, the answer is that simple, I guess.
Yeah, you don't have to complicate it, especially when you're talking about Jordan, because he does make it really simple. Although he's not a one-man show. His whole team is going to have to still step up.
And they take pride in that, don't they? Helping this very special talent do what they've got to do.
Yeah, they're pros, and they get their checks twice a month, too.
Clark, as we know, last year the Hawks were able to hit 50 wins for the 4th consecutive season.
And, Kevin, I think that speaks to, obviously, the product on the floor, but the quality of their organization, too. I mean, these are players and coaches who just know how to win games. How do you expand the lead? Increase it. It takes good play on both ends.
So far, Michael Jordan has been getting just about, Clark, everything he wants on the offensive end.
And that's not unexpected, but, you know, that doesn't bode well for the Hawks as Wilkins has been unable to answer Jordan with shots of his own, which I think says a lot about the job the Chicago defense is doing.
I agree. Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Willis, he checked in for Malone. Livingston comes in for Carr. And it's Webb in for Smith. Webb in for 3. And that's collected by Willis. Rivers surveying the D. To the middle. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Pippen.
A vocal presence both on the floor and in the locker room. Willis is somebody his teammates really respects.
Tony, he's checked in for Atlanta. And Willis drops them both. Here is Paxson. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Got that one up quick.
You know, the 3 shot is not a go-to shot for MJ, but his touch still undeniable.
Webb against Paxson. There's 25 seconds left to play in the first half. Here's Willis. It's rebounded by Paxson. Now, here is Jordan. He has 45 points. Good if it goes. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. It's Chicago running away with this one. So welcome back, everyone, to the third quarter of this contest between the Bulls and the Hawks, where Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins have been going at it. And here are the Bulls now.
And as this second half gets underway, the defensive ability of the Hawks and Bulls only become more important. You got to limit your opponents down the stretch, and both of these teams have the ability to do that.
Paxson is out there with Jordan. And there's Cartwright. Then there's Grant. And it's Pippen in at the 3 slot. And that's the group for Phil Jackson as we begin the second half. No one covering. Paxson's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
You know, with all the other things Pippen does so well, sometimes I think we forget how good a passer he is.
We were talking about this before, but Clark, some very capable defenders on both sides of the floor.
No doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, the duo of Pippen and Jordan, so effective at wreaking havoc and forcing turnovers. And the Hawks have Doc Rivers, who can hassle ball handlers. He's physical as a backcourt defender, as well as Moses down low to eat that glass and block shots, too.
Yeah, both are fun to watch. We're going over the numbers from the first half. Clark, Jordan was able to top Wilkins in scoring in the first and second quarters combined.
A critical advantage partner that he worked really hard to get. Not all of his hoops were easy ones.
Right, you're right on that.
Starting to pull out ahead off the back of some terrific offense.
Passes it to Rivers. Here's Malone. And Malone gets double-teamed. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. Now Pippen. Cartwright with it. Pippen, a screen on Rivers. The 3. The shot will not fall. And Atlanta will go the other way with it.
These Hawks have a trusted and capable leader steering the ship, and that's Coach Mike Fratello. He won Coach of the Year for his work with this team in the '86 season.
Wilkins against Cartwright. 4 on the clock. Malone, the pass to Wilkins. Doesn't go for him.
And the shooter had really no airspace to get that shot off. That's good D.
Paxson outside. Out of bounds. Atlanta takes possession. Antoine Carr. He's checked in for CONCACAF.
The lineup for the Hawks, Antoine Carr.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Webb the pass to Malone. Dives for it. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. Looking to keep it rolling.
Stay on the attack and keep playing the right way.
For 3, Paxson buries the long-range jumper. Paxson's got a pair of 3s now here in the third for the Bulls. Yeah, an experienced coach who knows his team inside and out. That's Mike Fratello. Clark, do you think that gives the Hawks an advantage?
I think it could, Kevin. I mean, Coach Fratello will have an easier time seeing what his team needs out there and will know what adjustments best suit this squad.
Here in the third quarter, the Bulls, Clark, have managed to be pretty effective when it comes to defending Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah, you know, their focus, Kevin, in terms of defending him, I think has really been good. Really good. And I think you can tell it started to frustrate Dominique a bit.
You can. Shot clock at 3. From deep, Jordan. Rebounded by the Hawks. Webb dishes to Rivers. That one's not going to go. Some solid defense from Grant. 59 seconds left in the third quarter. And here's Pippen. Pass to Jordan. From deep three-point range, the shot's good on the assist by Pippen. Pippen's got 5 assists in the game.
The number of the second half, 3. They are drilling shots. When you think about Michael Jordan, you think about scoring, putting the ball in the basket. But he does a lot of other stuff out there as well, like moving the ball effectively. And to me, they appear desperate to stop this cold streak right now. So far, nothing is working.
The shot's good from Paxson.
Deep 3 from Paxson. That's what he brings to this club. John can stroke it, folks. Oh, my goodness, this little fella can get up in the air. Spud Webb can fly.
Chicago with the ball. What a stretch they've got going here. 17-2. Here's Jordan. Non-stop scoring machine here. Got it up. Got it! A cold-blooded buzzer beater!
Clutch, much in the clutch. Woohoo! Power!
And so it's Michael Jordan making things happen for the Bulls. A sensational night for him continues as he cranks his three-point made total even higher on what has been a historic night for him. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We get into the fourth quarter of this thrilling game between the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls. And this crowd is feeling it.
As this game wears on, you have to be so conscious of Michael Jordan. I mean, he's got something of a reputation for being a closer, and that's an understatement. He finds a way to push himself beyond his limits to come up with clutch points when his team needs it most.
On the court for Atlanta, Livingston is out there with Kevin Willis. Then there's Tony, and it's Smith, and it's Conley in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Knowing that Michael Jordan likes to explode down the home stretch offensively, Clark, think the Hawks might increase the defensive pressure on him.
You know, it wouldn't shock me, Kevin, if they did just that. Just make sure somehow, some way, you don't allow him to put together a run.
Now, here's Willis over Grant. Willis, no good. As we get deeper into this game, Clark, it has been all Jordan offensively, as we can see, leaving Dominique well behind him.
You know, I didn't think it would be this one-sided. I mean, Jordan has just been operating at a totally different level. And Dominique has not managed to match that intensity or production.
You're so right.
You know, something I like about both of these teams, the Bulls and the Hawks, is the experience they have, the range of experience. I mean, you've got younger guys like John Concack and Horace Grant, and then you've got the seasoned veterans like Moses and Bill Cartwright. It's a really good balance.
Tony with it. Pass to Willis. The rebound by Pippen. Pippen's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Clark, I've always wondered how valuable you think it is for younger players to get a chance to play alongside more experienced players.
Kevin, I think it's crucial and absolutely vital. Older guys have a way of being able to teach a young star so much about patience and which battles you fight and which ones you let go and how you carry yourself as a pro and all of the nuances of playing in the NBA. Good veterans can help young players set the tone for the rest of their careers.
Oh, that's a great answer. This one for 3. That one falls, coming off of Paxson's feed. Paxson's got assist number 9 now. Wow, what an effort here tonight. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Tony for 3. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's got 4 rebounds in this game. The shot's good from Paxson.
their offense has really stood out. They're piling up the points and torching this defense.
Paxson's gotten everything to drop so far, shooting 4 of 4. Now the pass to Tony. Can they get it? And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one on Pippen. The first one falls. Atlanta making a switch here. Carr's checked in. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And just about 3 minutes through the fourth quarter here. Tony against Paxson.
2 minutes remaining.
Taken away.
2 minutes.
Fast break here. Here come the Hawks. Here's Smith. And he gets it to go. Smith's got 7 points for the quarter.
If you let him get that deep on you, he's going to score every time.
Jordan. And the dunk by Jordan. With the Hawks here in his building, you can see the way Michael Jordan is approaching every possession, looking to make an impact. Passes it to Carr. And they cash in right away with the quick shot. Carr's got his first points of the game. Chicago with the ball. And here's Jordan outside. Jordan is doubled. Here's Paxson. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Jordan.
Automatic. Paxson ready to fire the moment he's got the rock.
Pass to Livingston. Carr with the ball. Guarded by Paxson. Here's Livingston. The Hawks working the ball around. Shoots from the high post. Here's Willis. Lays it up off the glass.
Boy, T-Rex, they call him. Kevin Willis devouring those second chance points.
Pass to Jordan. And they double up Jordan. For 3, Paxson. Rebound by the Hawks. Here's Livingston. To the inside. Shots good by Carr.
They're really making a go of it, but perhaps too little, too late.
Jordan outside. Drives to the hoop. And Jordan throws it down.
The signature airtime of the one and only Michael Jordan going upstairs for the dunk.
Smith the pass to Willis. Back to Smith. Shoots the 3. The rebound by Grant. And so Grant will bring it up for the Chicago Bulls. And the dunk by Jordan.
And with this last run, they have shut the door on any chance of a comeback.
Here's Atlanta. And there's the call on Michael Jordan. That's foul number 2 for him.
Second personal foul. Second team foul.
Now Tony. And the Chicago Bulls, Clark, managed to pull out the win here tonight with Michael Jordan delivering a
Thanks again for coming out to tonight's game. We hope you had a fun time.